Hello, everyone, and welcome again to another Teacher Joseph podcast. Well, today we're going to take another look at the view from my window. Now, I've done podcasts before called A View from the Window, just to try to help you describe things and to capture the mood. Now, as I've told you many times before, what you don't want to do is just to say it is green, it is wet, there are cars. You really need to get behind the mood and talk about what's happening by bringing in your personal experience, what the view reminds you of, and really what's happening you could say, in a deeper level. Okay, so we're going to try to describe the view from my window today. All right, so here we are. I'm at the window, I'm looking out, okay, and the first thing I'm noticing is the mist. The mist has created a veil over the cars, the traffic, and the people walking outside. As I gently try to peer through the mist, I can see the shapes and outlines, which is a little bit confusing because I can't see clearly. So I can see there's two cars parked outside. They're kind of like draped over by this mist that I've been referring to. And this mist is very common here in the autumn days. In the old days, it used to be much stronger because it was a mixture of smog as well as smoke. Smog, by the way, is a mixture of mist and industrial smoke. Those of you in Asia may well be suffering from smog. We don't have smog here very much now because we live in a smokeless society. Companies aren't allowed to produce smoke. Looking through the mist, there's one little thing catches my eye. I can see a cobweb which is frozen because the temperature outside is -1. And it's really standing out, it's glistening. It looks like pieces of thread have been thrown over the fence and laced over. And there are little spiders hurriedly moving over it, not realizing that very soon it'll be washed away, either by rain or by the hand of a child running by. Although I can't see much of the cars, I can see the wheels, and I can see the wheel trims. That's those large discs which sit inside the wheel. It's like an inset. The wheel trims are inset into the cars, and they're glistening. And it looks like there's these large metal discs moving, which I can't really see through the mist. Looking beyond to the other side of the road, I can just about catch the view of the windows of my neighbors. And I can also see that child that passes every morning around this time that my cat hates. As a child passes in a little pushchair, his mother pushes him, and he always stares in the window, and my cat is waiting there to stare back at him. And the cat hisses "Sss" at him, and he he lowers his eyes and gives the cat an evil stare. They really hate each other. So I've just caught a glimpse of them going past, but really, it's not clear enough for me to see. And my cat is looking disappointed that it can't hiss at him on the way past. The sun is rising. I can see its faint glow above the tiled roofs, and that is about to be a game changer for the day. Currently it's -1, so the temperature will rise once the sun comes up. Our clocks have changed, so I'm supposing that the sun is only coming up now, which is around 9. So it'll be dark early. Getting back to my view from the window, one thing I can see directly outside my window is a little rosebud, which is getting bigger every day and is just waiting to burst into bloom to show me the autumn rose. In front of that, there's lots of leaves on the ground. They're kind of rolling with a slight breeze, reminding me that autumn is here. In the middle of the road, there's some kind of white and yellow luminous sign. It's like a little rambler we have in the middle of the road for people to walk on, which separates the traffic going up against the traffic coming down. And I can see a man pushing a child there wearing a blue coat, which is really standing out against the white mist. The children are all wrapped up for school wearing scarves and hats, which kind of reminds me of a Charles Dickens novel, although I'm pleased to say these children look rather well-heeled, not the poverty-stricken children that perhaps we would see in a Charles Dickens novel. What else can I tell you? Well, the mist is lifting fast. I can see a little bit more perhaps than I did when I started this podcast. And as I stand in this room, which is rather dark compared to the white mist outside, I'm reminded again that autumn really is here. It comes with a certain loneliness, though, standing alone in this room, looking at people walking by. This is something all of my ancestors have faced in the past, and my mind goes right now to my great-great-grandmother, who died in the 1920s. She couldn't read or write. She had 8 of a family, and they lived in a 2-roomed house. Or 2-roomed, yeah, I could say a little house, like a little bungalow, but it was designed just for workers. It wasn't designed for comfort. And I still wonder how they managed to raise 8 children in that place. But of course, in the old days, as soon as you were 13, that was it. You were out and you were expected to be looking to get married because the age of marriage in those days was 13. So as soon as you reached an age, you were expected to be married and out. And then, of course, there would be much more room. They also had some kind of system for when people went to sleep. No one went to sleep at the same time. Some people went to rest at perhaps 8 o'clock, others at 12, others at 2. They had a system, when beds were available. Okay, peering in this window, there's a pine tree, which is getting bigger every year, and its leaves are rising almost to greet me. I'm really glad this isn't 1920s Scotland and there's no smog. The pollution in those days and the cold must have been unbearable. And as I look back to those days, I think, oh, how they lived. But they obviously were happy. They just lived to work, I think, because Britain in those days was a textile and factory-based country, very industrial. Those days have all gone now, and I'm reminded by that as I look outside again, watching kids going by, people who aren't working and have no intention of working. They may be unemployed, they may be paid by the government because they have children. But even since I was younger, the whole concept of working's changed now. Here, it's how do I get money from the government? What do I have to do not to work? Whereas when I was growing up, I was taught that work is the best thing you can do. Good for your mind, good for your body, good for your soul, and earns you some cash. But that concept has changed. Now it's all about how do I get what I want without doing anything. Oh, there's a little crow walking along the pavement, looking in the window at me, searching for his food. My cat's watching him with his ears popped up, and the crow is staring back in a way to let my cat know that it's quite safe. And there we are, a view from the window. So I hope you've enjoyed this, and let's talk again soon. See you. Bye.